I have come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love to see. Oh, Susanna, won't you cry for me? Oh, Susanna, won't you cry for me? I have come from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana, my true love to
And
see.
Madhumita Pal. Well, I have few questions for the authors. Hello, Sulagna. First of all, congratulations. I'm so happy to see your very interesting book. Could you please tell the viewer as to why you have named the book to life?
Thank you, Bhushundhara, for your question. This book has been named The Boat to Life as this particular book describes the journey of a man who happens to be my grandfather and his struggle to live amidst all adversities. It is a story of life describing its difficulties, pitfalls, dilemmas, and the potential which each one of us have within us to come out of all difficult situations if we have the passion to do that, and that too with flying colors.
Okay, great. Very interesting. Tell us something more about your grandfather's passion for his profession, please.
I used to call him Dadaji. Dadaji was a man of passion. So he was filled with passion for everything he did. And he would never settle for anything, whatever the hardship may come along. He would always, just submerge himself into the process of achieving whatever his heart would desire. And he would never settle for anything below that. So that was like his way of life. And in a similar way, when talking about his profession, he was a doctor by profession and was always into serving the mankind with everything he had, everything he learned. He never wanted to keep anything to himself. And in exchange of that service which he provided, he never expected anything. No materialistic goals could go beyond the kind of love and passion which he used to feel while helping people get out of state of pain.
Wow, your grandfather, I'm sure, must have been truly a passionate medical doctor. I read in the book that even after his retirement from his government job, he was to treat his patients without charging a single penny. This is incredible. Please tell us something more about this.
So, Dadaji was a man who was always into serving the people, irrespective of who the people were, where they came from, whether they will be able to pay the fees. So it's very different. It's very different from what we see nowadays. And I'm not generalizing the kind of treatment we get from doctors. There are doctors of various kinds, but he was a man who was, not very much liked by the family members as well, especially his wife. Because every time a patient would come and visit, and he would spend an ample amount of time on that particular patient, understand what the problem was. In exchange of the time and consultation, he would never charge a single penny. And irrespective of the fact that he worked during a time when the kind of wealth which a doctor would be able to gather within his lifetime will be amounts to nothing in comparison to what we get today. But irrespective of that, he would just consider his job, his work as a doctor, as a professional, to be just equivalent to a noble service, which he would do out of love for the people to minimize the pain. And in exchange, he would expect nothing. Sometimes he would even scold them that why this person has not come to me earlier. And because, maybe the patient was hesitant to come because he did not have the money to pay his fees. and he would scold them just like a father would do to his son. And in exchange, the patient would just love him and sometimes would bring a certain vegetable or a fruit from his garden, and that is what you gain at the end of the day. That was the kind of puji, the jama puji, which you would get, so I really respect him for who he was.
So, Shulagna, as a granddaughter of Dr. Ashutosh Pal, what is that message that you wish to convey through this book? Kindly tell us.
So, as Dr. Ashutosh Pal's granddaughter, first of all, I would like to thank the universe for letting me have him as my grandfather. I feel immense, a lot of respect I feel for him as an individual, as a human being, and I'm able to connect with him at a certain level because I am also full of passion towards everything I do, and I'm fearless about what's going to come. And that's the message which I want to give to the people around, because in today's times, situations are turmoil, and every time we are always uncertain and feel fearful about what's coming up next. So when you read this book and when you know who he was through his journey, you'll be able to understand that how important it is to give your best at the moment and not think of what's going to happen next. And always, going back to your roots is extremely important. Holding on to your roots, who you are, that's extremely important. Not getting swayed away amongst all the white sheets, and being who you are as an individual, as a person, and giving your best to the society, to the people. And going ahead in your journey, however difficult, the situation may seem like, just, continuing that progress. Progression always doesn't happen in, unlimited bounds. Sometimes you can just progress a little at the moment, but not stopping and not giving up. That's exactly what I learned from his writing. And I got this book. I had an opportunity to read this book at a certain point of time when I was quite hopeless due to the surrounding situation which I had, due to certain personal struggles, certain situation at work. But while I was translating this work, and of course with the help of my mother, Madhumita Pal, so I was able to visualize the kind of pain and the kind of struggle which a man may have to face in order to become a better, refined version of yourself. And there's always hope, however bad the current moment may look like.
If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I am gone. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles.